Shall we begin? Let's begin now.
Welcome to Arizona Central, your one-stop shop for everything Arizona Cardinals here in the OMFL. Thank you for tuning into the show today. Just going to do a really quick recap of our season that unfortunately went downhill for us pretty fast. We did finish the season at 8-8, a season that had us build to make another run deep into the playoffs, and the wheels kind of fell off pretty quickly for us, and then life took over, and 3 weeks worth of travel for work caused me to miss a lot of my last few games of the season, and things just didn't turn out too well for us. Let's take a look at the offense. We averaged 21 points per game for 21st in the league, 308 yards total per game for 21st in the league, 227 yards passing for 11th in the league, mainly due because we were behind in a lot of games and had to pass a lot. 81 yards a game rushing for 22nd in the league, even though our lead rusher did have a pretty decent season, a little down from the year previous, but overall the rushing attack was not, the offensive line, I should say, was not what we had hoped it would have been. Taking a look at Brock Osweiler's stats, he only passed for 58% completion percentage, 3,800 yards, 23 touchdowns, but 28 interceptions, 38 sacks. So a really down year for Brock, another year of several errant passes that just kind of went all over the place. Just was not a successful season for him. Keith Marshall, again, having a down year. He did have over 1,000 yards with 1,022, but he averaged under 4 yards a carry, 3.8. Same with Brightful at 3.6. 9 touchdowns was pretty decent, but only 1,022 yards from the year previous, where he had almost 13 or 1,400 yards, and he had well over 15 to 17 touchdowns. This was a down season for Marshall. A lot of hits in the backfield, not a lot of opportunity for him to find big plays, and overall the offensive line just didn't come through for us. Some of the bright spots, though, were Tank Forbes. The rookie had 83 receptions, 1,500 yards, 9 touchdowns, but he had 19 drops. So those drops really begin to add up. We're looking to work on his hands this offseason, but he adds a speed and size element to our team and really should be a playmaker moving forward into this last season. Darby Spand, a second-year player that we found in the waiver wire, had big size, decent speed, and really great hands. He tossed in another 55 for 658 and 5 touchdowns. He was one of our most improved players, a really great number two option, I should say, after you get away from Forbes. Forbes really was the guy. Duncan Archibald, a tight end that is in his 4th season. He is leaving us in free agent this year. I think he signed a contract with the Kansas City Chiefs. We're going to lose 47 receptions, 622 yards, and 3 touchdowns. A guy that could make plays in the passing game, but also was a very good blocker. He was a 3-down tight end. We're going to miss him, but 3 of our top 5 players needed 5-year contracts. We had to let all 3 walk. 2 of them we were able to get to come back, but Archibald was just asking way too much money, and we just didn't have an opportunity to bring him back. Terrell was a wide receiver, along with the progression of Mealy. Even though he only had 1 reception this year, just his returns in the special teams and his special teams tackles and just his potential, I think he's going to be a great 4th option for us, as J.J. Nelson is now getting older and losing what made him a great player, and that was his speed. Look for Terrell to step into that, and we have several young receivers. Are really loaded at receiver, so we feel like we've got the guys that will step up. Uzuma, who signed a free agent contract with us last year, is going to have to step up into that starting role. Again, we will probably draft a tight end at some point in the draft that's coming up. Taking a look at our defense. The defense allowed 21 points per game, which is way too many for us, but that did rank 9th in the league. 262 yards per game for 4th in the league, 185 passing yards for 4th in the league, 76 rushing yards for 7th in the league. The defense really did keep us in most of our games. They played extremely well for us this season. We just didn't get the turnovers that we'd hoped for. Patrick Peterson with a solid season, 33 tackles, 9 interceptions to be our leader. At sacks, Kegler and Smart. Smart left us in free agency but did rejoin us after giving him one of the largest contracts in the offseason. 36 tackles, 19 sacks, 1 forced fumble. Really was able to get after the quarterback. Both of those those defensive ends, I should say, really help make our team flow. They get a lot of pressure on the quarterback. Clinton Hull really had an outstanding season coming to us. 39 tackles, 2 interceptions. Not a superstar, but a solid outside linebacker. We did cut ties with Aaron Lynch, who gave us 30 tackles, 3 sacks, and 2 interceptions. He's making over $10 million a year after coming over here from New Orleans. Just not that production that we needed from him. Avery Williamson, not that production that we really would like to see from our middle linebacker, but 47 tackles and 2 sacks. He's okay. He played decent at times. Overall, the defense is a team defense. You see a lot of guys with 20-plus tackles here. A lot of guys got after the quarterback, and a lot of guys got their hand on the ball. It really is a team defense. They all fly to the ball. They all make plays. We are getting a little bit older. We've made some moves in the last few off seasons to fix that, and we're looking to do that a little bit this off season. But really look for us to put our focus into the offensive line and also into playmakers to get that offense to shine at a much better pace than what we have the last few seasons. So overall, we finished the season at 8-8. We're moving into our last season of Madden 18. Not a lot of moves being made. The phones are pretty silent. No one really making any phone calls. Of course, we're moving over to the new website, so I've been really focused on the new website and the new forums. But I am really turning my attention to the draft. I'm going to be looking to get my hands on as many draft picks as possible, looking to make some moves there. Salary cap has been tight. We've had to eat a couple of large penalties this offseason with aging playmakers. We do still have our player reset for retention, and so we're going to be looking to make a play there. Just a lot of interesting things coming up this offseason. Sorry about that. A lot of interesting things coming up this offseason. We'll be looking to make some moves and really look for us to be big players in the draft and improve on this 8-8 standard that we've set for us these last 2 seasons. We've got to make some moves here, get over that hump, and get into the playoffs. That's it for Arizona Central. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next week.
Oh, for sure. Second.